Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to the Seyfel February AMA. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a while since we last saw each other. I'm Ash, your host for today. Super excited to be here with y'all. Today we also have Seyfel CEO Veronica joining us, as always. Thank you for being here. And we also got a new friend with us today as well, our communications lead, CJ. Welcome, CJ. Would you like to say something? Say hi to everyone.
Hey guys, it's nice to see you after a long, like many months or even like a year. So it's great to be back. So yeah,
Perfect,
excited to be
perfect.
here.
CJ is a true, DeFi expert and also my crypto sensei, I can say. With him here today, I'm sure it's gonna be super exciting and full of insights. So
Yeah,
definitely stay
unfortunately, only in terms of technical knowledge, but not in terms of
true.
profitable returns. So for profits, please don't DM me or anything if anyone's hoping for that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, non financial advice during this session. So yeah. Okay, so what's the lineup for today? We'll start with some quick industry headlines and a bit of gossip as usual. Then Veronica and CJ will walk us through the key SafeBell updates from this month. And finally, we'll be joined by our guest speaker from the Solana Foundation and Nansen to share more insights. We also have a giveaway today. Thanks, Nansen, for the sponsor. You can retweet the live link or the recording link for a chance to win a 3-month Nansen Pro subscription, which worth around more than $200. So it will pick the winner with X Picker, and I think the winner will be reviewed early next week. So yeah, don't miss out this chance. All right, let's kick things off with the first part, industry headlines. So the first one, geopolitics. Geopolitics again also affecting the market. We saw news about Iran conflicts escalating and even impacting Dubai. I know how many Web3 builders and workers are based in Dubai now, and also it has been seen as a safe haven for global capital. So some analysts said if the this could if the conflict getting escalated again, it will have a very huge shock across global financial markets. So yeah, would love to hear your perspective, Veronica.
I think it's a very unfortunate. It's a very unstable, a very volatile, very shocking kind of March that we are seeing. It's a pretty uneasy situation for a lot of us. Especially, I also have a lot of friends in Dubai, in the Middle East. So it's definitely very unfortunate to see that. I think the hit in Dubai by the missile reminds us that even the strongest financial hub, because Dubai positioned itself as like surrounding a very powerful narrative, right? Like Dubai being neutral, Dubai being safe, Dubai being very tax friendly and tax efficient. So that combination has attracted a lot of investors, family offices, billionaires, hedge funds from all over the world. But the recent attack actually reminds us that even such a strong financial hub are still impacted or anchored in geopolitics kind of impacts. I think it's not just about tax policy that we're talking, it's about the perception of safety and stability, especially in a volatile region. So when that missile landed in Dubai, landed in Jumeirah, and all different kind of within range of the major financial infrastructure, it's this kind of mindset change quickly. So lately, we also read some news headlines suggesting or implying that investors and family offices and those kind of high value kind of clients are already reconsidering the assets allocation or exploring other alternatives such as Singapore and Hong Kong, etc. So I think this highlights that if like when the era of AI comes, when digital assets are natively on chain, it's pretty important that we design it to be geopolitically free, like to operate independently. I think this is something that crypto industry and blockchain ecosystem could do. So that means if we are gonna reshape or if we are gonna build a better version of the financial centers, it should be on top of the blockchain, in my opinion. So, like for example, crypto infrastructures such as wallet, such as self-custody structure, such as permissionless networks, they could become even more relevant, especially during rapid change of the geopolitical environments that we are now staying on. So instead of being a replacement of traditional finance, I think it should be it could develop into a parallel system that is less dependent on physical borders, but more like a global, frictionless, permissionless, borderless kind of infrastructure. So I think that that kind of echoes what blockchain is aiming for. But still, it's very unfortunate to see that. I think it's a very uneasy situation for all of us.
Right. Yeah. I think let's just call for the world peace. I think a stable market is definitely will be a ideal environment for better not only liquidity but also long-term growth, and also the growth also of further infrastructure and industry. Yeah, and the next news is, I think this one is more on the positive side. It's a regulation news from Asia. Hong Kong is expected to issue its first stablecoin license, which could be a big step towards bringing more institutional players into the space.
I think we are expecting it to happen, right? It's just a
from last month.
Yeah, finally seeing the boots sitting on the ground already. And I think I heard rumors, I'm not sure whether nobody have confirmed it yet, but it is said that HSBC and Standard Chartered and OSL, these three institutions has already got the first batch of the stablecoin licenses. Yeah, so I just read that from yesterday, but not really a confirmed source yet. It's kind of a rumors, but I think we'll see soon, since it's already the middle of March. First of all, I think we are all expecting it already. This moment is finally here. I think this is definitely a positive signal, because regulators are trying to be more clear, providing a framework that looks closer or more similar to traditional financial infrastructure. It is positive because it provides clarity. Previously, banks, payment companies, other institutions, corporates, they cannot really interact with the unregulated stablecoins at a large scale. They cannot provide such kind of services to their target clients neither. So a regulated framework definitely helps that. So that means we are going to see the next wave of rapid adoption of stablecoin at a larger scale. And also it's a pretty interesting angle if we look at it, because stablecoins, it started as a native, crypto native solution, right? It's open, it's global, it's really for everyone to use. And when it comes to license, it looks more like a digital banking product. So I think both models could exist. So RWAs has also been the talk of the town in the last 12 months and even earlier. So I think regulated stablecoins could likely dominate the institutional payments and RWA and tokenized finance. But the open stablecoins like USDT, USDC will continue to power the permissionless side of the global payment system. So they could supplement to each other for different scenarios, for different contexts. But overall, it's still a very positive news. And definitely, I think the industry has been expecting and waiting for this moment for a while. And we definitely are going to see with the debates going on in US about the Clarity Act. And we are going to soon in this year to see a turning point and even more rapid kind of adoption of stablecoins and applications on top of it. So definitely that is a very positive sign.
Yeah, great to see.
I think another interesting to note is that governments and agencies are also, not just institutions, are starting to realize, that crypto payments are a potentially very lucrative pie. So we're starting to see more countries trying to push their own fiat stablecoins, aside from USD-backed stablecoins. So I think we're seeing that in Korea, of course Hong Kong, and a few other countries. I think it will be tough for these other countries as well, though. Because, for example, one of the slightly older non-USD alternatives like URC or EURC doesn't receive as much usage as the USD stablecoins even today, although it's a legitimate stablecoin. So I think it'll be interesting to see how this develops over the next months and years. I do look forward to seeing other non-USD stablecoin alternatives as well, because I think that sort of evens out the playing field. But I think it will take a while to get there as well.
Yeah, I think it looks like a mirror of the reality world when it comes to like a US dollar become the dominant settlement currency of the global trade finance. And it really depends on how well the fiat currency in the like specific country performs. But that's, for example, if in Latam and in Africa, like for where the local currencies are more volatile and people tend to go for US dollar pack stable coins, it feels like a mirror of the traditional financial world to me. So like I think it definitely doesn't make sense for every single country to issue their own stablecoin again. It could be tricky for them to make it sustainable, but we'll see. Like this trend is gonna go on for at least for the next 12 months.
Yeah. I think I will be the first wave of adopter of this Hong Kong stablecoins. Yeah, let's see what will happen. And also, I think it's not the first time, even in this AMA session, that we saw two trends at the same time: more regulation, but also more adoptions. I think that will be the micro trend for today nowadays.
Yeah, for the crypto natives in Singapore as well, a small shout out, disclaimer: I don't own a stake or have any incentive in it. Is XSGD is a very underrated but reliable Singapore pegged stablecoin I've been using for like a few years, and it's quite reliable and really fast to redeem to your bank accounts one-to-one to Singapore fiat. So I think there are a lot of under radar really good alternatives there. I don't see it taking center stage over USD, of course, because Singapore is while it's a very crypto friendly hub, it's not as dominant as USD on the global stage. But just sharing for any crypto natives who are in Singapore that don't have any good Singapore backed stablecoin alternatives, give that a try. It's under the Straits X company, I believe. Yeah.
I see. CJ, will you adopt the Singapore stablecoin for like a specific scenarios, like on and off ramp, or for other kind of scenarios? Not for trading, right? Like it's really for off ramping to local currencies.
Yeah. So I do my swaps on chain from USD stablecoins to XSGD. It's on quite a few chains, Polygon, and some EVM chains like Arbitrum as well. So I swap there, and then I send it to my StraitsX account for XSGD, and then I send it to a bank. It's so far I've had no issues for the past 3 to 4 years, and the transfers to a bank like really fast, almost within a few minutes, and sometimes even instantaneous. And I think above 10 SGD, you have to pay a 50-cent fee, but it stays capped that way, so it's relatively affordable and reliable.
Oh, it's a flat rate.
Yeah, flat rate.
I see. Interesting.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on. Enough of Singapore discussion. Okay. So moving on to another headline. This one's from South Korea. So we are jumping from different crypto capitals now. So regulators.
This headline is shocking. Like if you read into the news, it's like shockingly like how a regulated exchange has designed a security system so that an employee can type Korean won into Bitcoin and then send, like, it's basically like minting out of thin air and then give the money away.
Yeah, just to remind those audience that not very familiar with this incident. So basically, so it's just Bithumb distributed like around more than 60K, 600K Bitcoins, which is like definitely worth 43 billions, right, across hundreds of users' accounts as a giveaway, as a promotional giveaway, because one of its staff inputting the reward unit as BTC instead of Korean won. So it's so mind blowing. when I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah, and
hopefully
Bitfarm
you
was
don't have-
only holding like 45,000 something kind of pieces of Bitcoin. I really have no idea like how does that even work? Like if I really don't know because by reading the news. So this is shockingly kind of like mind blowing. Like when you read it, like it's no wonder like regulators are gonna chase after it, and this exposes a very serious safety control issues. But I mean, like it also means that exchanges are no longer considered as experimental platforms. Like already, they are expected to operate as a financial grade of financial kind of traditional financial grade of institutions. So I think this is a kind of a very strong alert to not just regulators but also to us as users. Like when you hold assets on centralized platforms, that you could be exposed to operational risks like internal control, governance failures, and even like kind of regulatory interventions. Like anything can happen because you trust the money on a centralized platform. So I think this is precisely why SafePal exists, like to give the freedom of the money back to the owner. So I think it's definitely a very shocking news to me.
Right.
Yeah, I think Korean centralized exchanges haven't been having the best run, unfortunately. A bit seemed to have
Very
been quite
volatile. It's definitely bad
Yeah.
time.
there was the update hack as well, before this fat finger incident for Bitam. So
True.
they've not been having the best run. Nothing against their operation, of course, but seems like they're having quite a bad stroke of luck as well in these few months, unfortunately. So hopefully, all the other CEXs learn and grow from that, because it is indeed quite a big systemic or serious systemic risk, right? If users or an institution can print more than they actually have in terms of an asset, and thankfully the users were allowed to. I think only one user or about 3 million worth was allowed to be withdrawn before they stopped everything, thankfully. And even that user wasn't allowed to, of course, leave with the asset eventually. I believe they traced it back, and they fined Bitam, and they are still doing a lot more investigations to improve it. But yeah, I think it's quite scary.
There are even rumors saying that guy who typed this made this huge mistake is a spy from Upbit. I read that from Twitter like the other day, and it was hilarious. But it's like that guy probably from Upbit, like trying to catch eyeballs from regulators, like trying to ease their pressure a bit and put the spotlight back to Bitam. I was like, no, this is crazy.
That's definitely the worst marketing strategy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, on the bright side, at least, I don't know which one I would rather it be true, right? One is more like a very sophisticated business tactic, while the other one is just a really dumb fat finger incident. So I don't know which one I would rather prefer, because both unfortunately are undesirable.
Hopefully the later.
Yeah.
And let's move on to another story. Also, it got a lot of attention recently. It's insider trading again. So on-chain investigator Zach XBT reported that an employee at the trading platform Axiom may have used the internal tools and used data to front-run trades, which, if true, also raise a pretty serious trust issue. So what's your take on this, CJ?
Yeah, I think of course, this scandal of insider trading is never a good thing, because you're basically, trading with asymmetrical information, right? So it's not that surprising or new in the sense compared to traditional financial markets. I think more or less people who have dabbled in stocks to some extent have been paying attention to stock market news. We're sort of aware that while it's illegal, insider trading still exists in some form, right? And this is definitely a bad thing, of course, because the whole idea about decentralized exchanges or on-chain exchanges is that the transparency is there, right? So we don't want to have the same kind of problems that stem from the opacity of traditional financial exchanges of stocks, right? Because for those, it's much more difficult to sort of catch or identify when insider trading happens and trace it to different accounts. So that's the bad thing. The positive thing, though, I like to take away from this is that it also sort of highlighted that this transparency that we are all always trying to sort of promote or rather highlight, right, for our industry actually works, because ZXBT was able to actually identify all these transactions on chain, trace it to respective accounts, and then from there take action. Thankfully, of course, I think the Axiom platform did the responsible thing. They dismissed the employee and they issued the respective penalties. Yeah. So I think two important takeaways is that the on-chain transparency isn't like a total cure-all and doesn't prevent completely the kind of problems that still happens in traditional finance, but it does mitigate it, and it also reflects that a lot of the benefits or strengths that we've been highlighting in industry aren't just for marketing fluffy. They actually exist, right? And I think that's the awesome part. Yeah.
I mean, people
And
tend to have the mindset that, like, because the market is on chain, so everything is automatically fair in default. But this kind of information gap, or we call it like privileged access to information, like, because that is typical how you gain the bit in financial market. Like, you have the privilege to information, to some sensitive data that give you like first mover advantages. So I think this exists not just here, but also in traditional finance. It's quite widely, and also it's pretty interesting how you define it. Like, for example, if I build an open tool, I track all of this behavior on chain. It doesn't consider as like insider, because blockchain is transparent. But when it comes to insider kind of tracking, because the news mentioned that the staff actually have the access to a Google form, which they collect all of those KOLs' wallet addresses, and these becomes a privileged access to information and give them these kind of advantages. So I think this is something that people might not expect, because like they easily consider an on-chain market to be transparent, to be trustworthy, but then there's still the application built on top might not be. So I think this is some nuanced difference between people's mindset and what is actually happening in the on-chain world.
Yeah, but I think that's the misconception that some crypto natives have, right? And that's the bad kind of trading age that we're talking about, whether we have the asymmetric information. I think the good kind of age that our industry still has is because of the slightly more advanced technical knowledge required. There's still things that are publicly available, but people don't necessarily have the skill to interpret and maybe make trade decision based off. I think that's a good age, but at least on the bright side, the on-chain transparency does sort of it doesn't prevent this kind of insider trading, but it definitely serves as a good way to trace and prevent further or act as a deterrent, right? So that's positive. I think it's also quite interesting, right? I don't know how many normie or like mainstream friends or relatives you all have, but even now, when we have so many good examples of on-chain transparency being a good deterrent, like my dad, for example, he still thinks that crypto is like easier to money launder or do like illicit activities with than fiat, right? But actually the reverse is true, because crypto is traceable on chain. Even to like decades ago, you eventually be caught, but fiat isn't. So I think that's one interesting thing to note, and that's one thing I also hope to see a change as our industry continues to mature, because the reverse is actually the truth, that crypto is actually harder, right?
Yeah, and also I think we discussed the regulatory development as well. So I think not only the the trader or the projects ourselves, also the regulatory or the institutions still has a very long way to go. Right. Okay, I think that will be the end of the headlines from February. Before we jump to the community update, let me bring the quick reminder on how to get SafePal official customer support. First option, you can go to safepal.com/sitemap and click contact customer support, as you can see on the screen, or you can use the support shortcut in the SafePal apps in the menu to submit tickets. So that's the only two official and secure channels, and a SafePal team member will follow up once your ticket is submitted. and don't trust any DMs or any requests of filling out random Google forms. Yeah, that's our monthly routine. Perfect. All right, let's move on to the SafePal updates from February. First, we launched the Valentine's MasterCard skins. So this time we had 2 versions to choose from. So whether you are single or taken, you could still grab a cute design to celebrate the special day. So hope you guys enjoyed this campaign. And if you have any fine ideas for future card designs, just make sure to leave us a comment. And we also like to make more customized card skin, ideally maybe on a regular basis. So every SafePal user can spend their crypto with SafePal and also with a little more personality. Yeah, that's I think what we are aiming to do.
Oh, and also we are gonna have co-branded versions launched very soon. So do shout out to us on social media, on Twitter, like see which brand, which kind of design, which logo you want to see on the card design. So we are gonna have a co-branded version launch very soon. We are gonna have the first batch of partners kind of co-working with us, launching the card design. So it's gonna be pretty unique.
Yeah, that's a cool teaser.
Yeah.
Okay, next in February, we also integrated Near Intent into SafePal Swap, powered by SwapKit. This brings smarter routing and better execution, especially for cross-chain swaps. So, Monica, do you have another teaser for the maybe on the swap side?
I think we're gonna have something meme related on soon.
Just another integration.
Okay, yeah. So we are redesigning. I think in January episode we talked about like we are working on this year. We are working on a new app design. So yeah, you're probably gonna see it in Q3. So right now we are in the process of redesigning the information structure, kind of really trying to simplify the UX. And one big change that we are planning is that we plan to aggregate all sorts of asset categories of trading and swap in one place to make it a super interface that you can just go and get whatever assets that you prefer. And along with that, we're going to have something like related to meme listed also very soon. Prediction market, we already have that. So we are right now in the process of working to streamline all of this design and put them organized and in a like easily explored way, so that people can find it easier to kind of find to get the assets that they want and track the wealth that they're holding. So yeah, something happening soon.
Super cool. Next, SafePal now also natively supports take profits and stop loss on Hyperliquid. CJ, you have more trading experience than me. Have you tried this?
For this one, not yet because I have not yet because my year plus long positions on Solana, unfortunately, that are over a year ago are still stuck on Drift. So I haven't had a chance to move them over because I don't want to realize the loss, unfortunately, yet. So waiting for Solana to recover before I open more positions. But I wouldn't say I'm an expert trader, but definitely I've lost enough money to understand what's important. And I think we had a few of our Hyperliquid integration users mentioned they wanted to have limit orders and take profit and stop loss function. So I'm happy to see this feature finally rolled up. And just want to give props to our product team and devs for working on this as well. So if there's any other optimizations that users want to see, do send it across to us. We do take it very seriously. And I think this sort of changes to 2 trends, right? Because I mainly trade on my desktop, but mobile traders value convenience a lot. So I think this is definitely a great value add, and also really important because you want to prevent black swan events like 11/11 from happening, right? Where there was like huge liquidations and traders couldn't unwind in time. So I think all these features are important for you to maximize profit and also mitigate your risk. Unfortunately, I am aware that for 11/11, there were people who had such features, but they just failed to execute in time and they still suffered loss. But I think these are all important features to be there. So I would encourage everyone to give a try. And of course, if there are, UI or UX improvements, do send it across to us, and we definitely look to implement that.
Cool. Perfect. All right, next one is it's a big one. So during Solana Accelerate in Hong Kong, we officially announced the $3 million builder grant with Solana. CJ, it's your turn. Maybe you can tell us more about this partnership from a PR perspective.
Yeah, I think this was really meaningful, exciting to me for 2 points. One, on a personal level, while we are a blockchain agnostic wallet suite, we support 200 plus chains. I mean, Solana was the very first blockchain I was using as a DeFi user, like in 2021, I think, and been using it since then. It's still my personally my favorite, not as a representative of SafePal, but personally as a DeFi user, I think it has a lot of active projects and platforms which is appealing to me. So
I can prove that because every week we have the weekly catch up. CJ will give me some soul insights or soul recap on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Not price advice, just technique, like a personal experience from using the blockchain, right? Price is always separate from actual product innovation and growth. So individually, I think it was pretty exciting. It's always awesome that something you are using or believing individually is being able to be executed or impacted from where you're working with or your career. So I think individually that was really meaningful. From a PR level, I think it was really exciting for us as well, because one of the unfortunate trade-offs about being a blockchain agnostic wallet suite is that you have to take care of every chain and all users across all networks, right? So I think this was our first big initiative that was Solana ecosystem focused. It was also nice to see it being well received. I'll leave Veronica and Ash to share more later on the on-site experience of what it was Hong Kong, because I wasn't, I was still I had to stay in Singapore then. But online and from feedback from other builders in Solana, it was nice to see that take place. And excited to see where this brings us for the next year. For people that aren't aware of this grant, of course, basically we're providing about 2 million worth in terms of in-kind hardware wallet sponsorships, because we believe that this is a better, effective user retention and growth strategy, as opposed to maybe slightly more hit and miss strategies that maybe rely on token airdrops, because they are a little bit more prevalent to issues like mercenary farming, where users just farm the project and you don't really know where there's actual PMF, and once they get the rewards, they just go, right? Because people who actually want the hardware wallets, they tend to be more crypto security aware. They tend to actually want the product, because you wouldn't go through all the trouble to farm a project just to have a hardware wallet device shipped to you. You actually want to be able to use the project long term. The second benefit that we do see personally is that the hardware wallet device users tend to be more sticky. So the user retention strength is there, and we feel that it's going to be a lot more synergistic with the partners that we partner with, right? Because all these people want growth, they want long-term retention as well. So we did a pilot together with Solana, having that Solana co-branded wallet. So all the people who are lucky enough to receive it, hope they're enjoying it. I really wanted one, but I held back because I knew it was limited edition, so I want to give other people a chance. So hope whoever has gotten it is enjoying the design, and the functionality. And looking forward to the other projects in the Solana ecosystem that we'll be collaborating with on the grant for this. We'll be running through the whole of this year. So for any projects that are interested, we have that available for application for the grant on our website, www.safepal.com. We have a very prominent headline for that. Otherwise, just scroll all the way at the bottom to apply for the grant.
Speak of the Solana Accelerate. The event in Hong Kong was dope. Absolutely dope. I was very lucky to be there in person, and I even tried the exclusive Soul Flare banana latte, which tastes pretty fun. Veronica, you were there the whole time too. So maybe do you have any interesting findings or some takeaways you want to share with the audience who couldn't make it in person?
I think this is the first time that we make a kind of proactive presence at the Solana conference. It's a very global international crowd of people going there. It's like because the time was right before the Chinese New Year holiday, so like I was thinking that maybe a lot of people planning for their end of the year trip already, and then not so many people might come. But actually, the crowd being there was much bigger than I thought. And we managed to build a lot of meaningful connections with old friends and the new ones. So definitely a very enlightening trip, to my understanding, and also very excited about the grant program as well. I think this is the first one that we are launching with an L1 in direct facilitating the adoption of the technology. So we have already got quite a lot of interesting applications already. So bear with us. We are gradually reviewing those and to give the maximum support we could to all of the applicants. So if you are building something on Solana, talk to us. Like we want to support that. And I think 1 or 2 weeks, I think this month later, we're gonna be flying to Shanghai. Like some of our members will be there, participating in the Solana Shanghai gathering. And if you're ever around, feel free to come and say hi. We're gonna have a small booth set up there, just for people to play around our products. And also we have our members flying over as well, like for partnership, for kind of answering all kind of questions related to wallets. So if you're around, feel free to say hi. I also saw an interesting question from the Fair Protocol from YouTube. Can you design a more luxury version of the X1 and Metal? I think you definitely the bro. I think you definitely are using our product quite a lot. We have S1 and the S1 Pro. S1 Pro is the Metal version of S1. So I will bring this feedback to the product team and to see how they feel about that. And would definitely share if there's something coming soon. But thank you for the feedback and thank you for supporting us by using the product. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Veronica, for sharing. Well, I think that's the end of SafePal update this month. Yeah, another big thank to Veronica for joining us. Unfortunately, we have to let you go. Thanks and have a good night. And
big shout out to you yesterday. Thank you so much for coming. Big shout out. I'll be watching the live stream. Yeah, when I'm off. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, Veronica.
Yeah, and don't worry, CJ will stick with us until the end. So yeah, without further ado, let's invite our wonderful speakers to the stage. Yeah, our first guest today is our old friend, the Solana Foundation. We already had a lot of Solana discussion. So the Solana Foundation is the organization supporting the decentralization, growth, and the security of the Solana network. Joining us today, we have Yao Yao at APEC Growth at Solana Foundation. Yao Yao, welcome. So could you give us a brief intro about yourself and how you help to grow the Solana?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ash, for inviting me, and very happy to be here. And yeah, first of all, want to say a lot appreciation for SafePal team. I mean, I had a really pleasant cooperation journey with your team, very professional, and including this live stream is the setup's so professional. I really enjoy working with you guys. And thank you, CJ, for mentioning you always using Drift instead of Hyperliquid, and being a Solana loyal user for long term, and let's definitely catch up more. And we would love to have this long-term friend in. Actually, that's a quite interesting thing because a lot of partners we're working with, that we're having this a little joke we always have someone like a spy in this team because they are the one who really love Solana and always pushing their cooperation with our team forward. So yeah, I appreciate that, SAJ. And so my name is Yao Yao. I joined Solana back in 2023 when Solana was at $10. I mean, I'm also a long-term Solana user. So when Solana was at that stage, I still believe in their like the technical, like the technology of Solana fundamentally. And when I talked to the Solana team at this like really bear market for them, and also this tough time, I realized like most of the team members, including the president of Solana Foundation, the one thing is like everyone having very solid background. They know exactly what they are doing. They have a strong or clear vision and conviction on what they are doing. And the second thing is like I love this team. Like everyone's so humble, and they are like in no BS, just doing the things and keep shipping. So I really loved this spirit and this experience, like talking to them. So I joined the Salon team in 2023 without no hesitation, and since then having like witnessing the community growth, specifically in APAC region. And I was also organizing the SRA Hong Kong, and also I was MC for that day. So it was really good to see Veronica offline as well. So yeah, about me, and thank you for having me again.
Yeah, welcome again. Do you want to, because I noticed that you prepared a few slides for our audience. Do you want to quickly go through it before we jump into the questions? So, or yeah, just for free.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah. So basically, that's something I want to share about our new vision of Solana and what we are really doing in these days. I know if you follow Solana Twitter account, you might say this word a lot, like ICM, Internet Capital Market. But what hell is ICM, right? So for us, our automated goal, and we are actually working towards that, including we're doing a lot of technical or consensus updates regarding that, like developing our next technology roadmap, just to to make this our dream to be more accessible or more closer to that dream. So our dream is we're building the internet capital market. So this is the capital market face the speed of the internet world. And what that mean is we want to, in the future, every asset you could ever touch, including the meme coins or including a lot real world assets, and including some assets like tokenized US stocks. They are that's called every asset, and every market means no matter you're in US or you are in China or you are in, you only need one marketplace, and this is happening on Solana. We actually building towards that, and we see a lot. Our ecosystem team is also growing that alongside us. So that's part of the thing that we are really. Next slide, please. And so we were like before we saying Solana was like we are digital finance, but actually like during the last 2 years, specifically 2024 and 2025, thanks a lot for our community members like SAJ being supporting us. We already becoming someone like not winning, but we have won this market, and we are like proudly to say we're dominating the digital finance. So that's like a few milestones we have reached. We are the number one like most used blockchain in the world, and we have the most of the applications really beautiful like everyday users on Solana, and we also have the most as I said, like the number of users on Solana is number one as well, and our startups who's building on Solana also earns a lot of revenue, and we also in this category we're also ranking the number one in this industry. And there was another new milestone. We just reached as the number one RWA holder in this whole space. So before, people might say, oh, RWA is not actually happening on Solana because blah blah blah, but what happening is that's actually happening on Solana. So next slide, please. So yeah, we there's a few milestones we have achieved regarding building the internet market, capital market. So we're not only having this our crypto native users, and we're also onboarding more daily users from our corporation with a lot like payment companies. PayPal was one of the a very early partner we have, and we also won the deal with Western Union, the most used cross-border platform for cross-border payment platform. And we are also there. Yesterday we just Mastercard also just announced a crypto partner, and we are one of the like a partner of Mastercard as well, and we are the partner of Visa for long term, and we are also trusted by Franklin Templeton, BlackRock, and also very recently, also just during the Accelerated Hong Kong, we also reached another like partnership milestones with JP Morgan. So that's actually a lot of things happening on Solana, and our team. I mean, it's like another. It's a bear market again, but I think our team is still very energized, like very like energized, and we still shipping every day. So that's the Solana spirit, and we didn't change. Everyone around me, I still feel that like they are just as day one, still very humble, and we still doing the things and push things forward. I think with this spirit, I have this kind of confidence. We are going to win next cycle as well. So, but that time, not only just to win the competition between the layer ones, but we're going to really win the competition with a lot more like real users coming up, and won this competition with like a institution with regulation. So there's a lot of things we're gonna do, and there's like a lot of things we want to win. So thank you, and we're very happy to have SafePal with us along the way, and let's just cook it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that was really smart about Solana's on-chain capital markets approach is that I think one thing that a lot of blockchains that I can't say absolutely is damaging tends to be also a strength and a weakness, is that they tend to sort of isolate themselves from other ecosystems, right? So one thing I think that Solana did differently that was pretty smart was that they sort of embraced and went a different route. For example, I think with Monet, right, they were one of the first few to have that the Mon token tradable on Solana. And we also see Solana bringing on a lot more tokenized commodities, like oil and other assets on chain. So really awesome to see this approach being taken on. And I think it's, of course, like you shared, really appealing to institutions as well. So hopefully this approach, builds more momentum for the ecosystem, and pretty excited to see what further developments will come in from there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, love the spirit, and also the energy Solana is shipping. So actually, we prepared a few questions for you, Yael, and also CJ. Feel free to comment from a Sol user perspective. Cool. So I think CJ already you were there during the first part of the AMA, and CJ already shared a lot about about the 3 million grant collaboration from SafePal perspective. So I'd love to maybe hear your view on this, and how do you see it helping the Solana ecosystem, maybe specifically.
Yeah, so thank you so much. As I mentioned, like I think like at the very top, as the team, we really enjoyed the cooperation with SafePal. It's one of the best partnership we have, and the team always being very supportive. So I want to say, like personally, I really love this cooperation, and everything just goes very smoothly with the team here. And the second thing I think also very important is we talked about the institution things. So also during the Accelerate Hong Kong, we actually have this institution dinner, and we actually and so some of our partners are actually coming from like a traditional family office or traditional finance company. So and we actually gave the SafePal hardware wallet to them.
Oh yeah, I saw the pic. I saw the picture.
Yeah. So I think for a lot of our institution partners or our traditional world partners, SafePal might be their faster step to really step into this crypto space. So I think that also means a lot for us, especially I really appreciate and I really love the design of the Solana SafePal customized hardware wallet as well. And I think our partners also having like really good feedback towards it. So I think that's another thing that SafePal is really empowering Solana ecosystem. And
Wow,
the
that's
tech
so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's
and
really meaningful. That is their first step
Yeah.
into delving into crypto.
yeah, exactly. And I just like it. Yeah, you started with the present journey with SafePal, safe and just friendly as a pal, right? And it's really good looking as well. So really nice taste. I love it. Next, also like, and next thing I want to really highlight is I think we have a lot of team members like in the Solana ecosystem because Solana, like most of our developer or our ecosystem team, they are actually coming from North America, and also like I think a lot of the teams they actually like since last year we're trying to educate them about the importance of APAC market and I think things really happening because they are actually trying to get involved more into this APAC market to have more presence in this market and they put on more resources in this market as well. And I think that's also one of the things I really appreciate and valuable for the Solana ecosystem regarding like SafePal also having a really large user base and has built a really strong fundamental the trust in this APAC market as well. So when this like our ecosystem team from the US or from the Europe, they really want to type into this new market. I think SafePal can be a really strong partner for them. I think that's also something really valuable. And also I think the grant itself. It's like really helping a lot, like specifically new teams to really onboarding their new users because you already having like a strong user base and you are supporting these users to giving them more presence through their like a SafePal entrance and also you are giving away this like a those like a really good designed hardware wallet to them as their marketing campaign and like incentives. Just as our community is very excited about this incentive, I think those like a new ecosystem team, the community is also going to be very excited for this. So personally and professionally, I love this cooperation with SafePal and I just wanna like present our appreciation for this team on behalf of my team again. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yaya. It's so
Yeah,
glad
awesome
to
to
hear
hear.
this. Yeah, it's meaning a lot to us, really. As we are a little run over time, and you already share a lot of interesting findings during the Solana Accelerator, so we'll just jump to the last question. So, looking ahead, are there any big milestones, upgrades, or ecosystem moves coming from Solana this year that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a lot of things. So the first, as I already shared a lot of things we have done on the slides, we are really developing this, internet capital markets, and from technology wise, we have a lot of technology updates as well. For example, the every year we're talking about the fire dancer, but this is really happening, and we also have this consensus upgrade. The Up and Glow is also happening. This will totally reshape their like fundamental. Like landscape of the future like on-chain trading. So definitely CJ, you made this right decision, probably not using Hyperliquid but stick with Solana ecosystem might be a good decision because we are also how always like working on that to upgrade our trading experience. And then also there's like a lot of things we are doing with the institutions. So first is in the US, as I mentioned already, the Morgan Stanley is launching the ETF, and we also winning a lot of, like a partnership with those payment companies. So just keep an eye, like that's the direction we are pushing forward. And one of the other most important thing also about the APAC market. So last year during the November, our team actually so the executive of the Solana Foundation actually be in China, and because it's the second largest market in the world. So we actually met a lot like institutions, and met a lot like corporate owners, and there are some like regulators in Hong Kong and in mainland. So really trying to understand the regulation and their corporate demands in this market, and there's like a lot partnership also happening in this market. So in Hong Kong, we are excited about their stablecoin corporations, and we are excited about their new ETFs of Solana in Hong Kong, like a capital market as well. So and in the Singapore and Japan and Korea, there's like a lot like partnerships. Still, we have this pipeline, so this is actually happening. And apart from that, we're also like supporting our funders, builders in this ecosystem. So we continue to host the hackathons and like the accelerator program, and we also get this like builder grant support, just like SafePal does, and to support our builders. So we and we also like spend a lot of effort. So if you're really looking at Solana AxeCon, you will find out we're actually doing a lot of things regarding the AI web coding thing. I think this really make it possible for a lot people with really amazing idea to tap into Solana ecosystem very easily with the support of AI. So I'm really excited to see the next generation of this like killing app is actually happening on Solana. I think that's also there's something special about Solana, because when you look back at the time, like there's like people trading about NFT. Solana was winning NFT as well. So when people talking about metaverse, talking about GameFi, Solana was winning GameFi, winning metaverse. And when people talking about meme coins, Solana won that game as well. And now people talking about RWA, and they probably talking about something new. But we have this confidence. We just like we have like a very strong like flexibility, and we have a strong like technical fundamental. We're just gonna keep winning. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think even for the niche ideas as well, there's a few underrated concepts that I believe were one of the first to be birthed on Solana that don't get enough credit. I think concentrated liquidity, for example, AMMs are all the rage these days. They're pretty commonplace, but I think dating back all the way to 2021, I think Orca was one of the first few that pioneered that with the Whirlpool NFTs, right? So
Yeah.
and I believe they were the first DEX to actually do that before it actually went on to be sort of adopted in other chains. Another concept that I think is still, sort of budding is with another underrated concept, I think, is with Project Zero on Solana. It's doing, they aggregate all the different borrow lending platforms and allow you to collateralize all your different portfolios there. Hope to see that being adopted on a larger scale as well, because I think that's a really awesome concept. And hopefully when it's large enough across other chains, I hope to see long-term adopted in our wallet suite as well. So yeah, I think it's a lot of budding, exciting things as well that aren't as, mainstream popular, but, still very exciting and niche that's being developed on Solana as well. So hope to see all those grow further as well.
Yeah, I really, I mean, CJ, you just reminded me. It just sort of like it makes me put me back in 2023, when nobody really believed in Solana, and I was there like making presentation about the latest update about Solana, and then there's actually some community member came to stage, and then they just started sharing like there's like a lot more insights from the community than from the like the official Solana people. I think that's the beauty of this community, because that's really, we have this really like a supportive and passionate community. They really looking at this, and they actually contributing to this ecosystem, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Yaya, and also CJ, as a Soul and SafePal community member. I really appreciate it. So before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with the SafePal community? Can be just single shout out.
Just use Solana with PayPal.
Slogan.
Just
Solana
Solana.
slogan.
With PayPal.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us today. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, let's move on to our second guest today. Our next guest is Nessun, the leading on-chain analytics platform trusted by top crypto teams, traders, and investors. Nessun is offering a 3-month Nessun Pro subscription to one of the lucky guys who retweet today's live link. So yeah, don't forget to retweet if you haven't so. Joining us today, we have James, customer lead at Nessun. Welcome. Could you give us a quick intro about yourself and what you do at Nessun?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you very much for having me here today. I do appreciate it. It's been a great session so far, so I'm very glad that I can be a part of it and I can be here to represent Nansen. So, as you mentioned, my name is James. I'm a customer lead at Nansen, and my primary role, or at least how I describe it to people, is I just make sure that people are happy. If people aren't happy, I want to understand why, and I want to, figure out what your pain points are. So that I can communicate that to the rest of our team and help support our product managers, our engineers, our product designers, and things like that. So I spend a lot of my time interacting with users, and I've spent a lot of time training in our users. So that's kind of the primary work that I do at Nansen. And yeah, I'm happy to share a bit more about what Nansen is for those that don't know. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Nansen was primarily an on-chain analytics platform. We were one of the leading analytics providers in the space, but recently enough, we started becoming a broader on-chain platform. So while people usually originally use us to surface the signal in blockchain data, blockchain data is very noisy. There is it's a never-ending database that's growing every single second. We help traders and investors surface the signal in that kind of sea of data. What we've recently done over the last year is transformed into a comprehensive on-chain platform. So while previously you may have used Nansen for Signal, we've now created a seamless experience where you can go from finding the signal to actually executing your trades. So this is a fully comprehensive workflow. It's very seamless, and we're very excited about the step we're taking in this direction. This is kind of what we've seen as the evolution of the Nansen Analytics platform. If you're getting analytics off us, why not trade with us anyway? So yeah, this is a very exciting evolution for our platform. And with this evolution of the Nansen platform, we've introduced agentic trading. So not only can you come into Nansen, research a token, and then execute all in the same place, you can now actually research and execute through the exact same interface. So that interface is an agent. You can be asking an agent, what is happening on chain? What are smart money buying? Are there any tokens that I should be looking at now? Is there anything unusual happening? And you might get all these different results. You might have a long conversation with an agent, and finally you might decide, okay, I want to buy this token. And you can do that directly from your chat interface with the agent. And we really see this as kind of the future of trading. Personally, it's something that I found scary in the beginning, and I was very reserved. But the more I experience it through different forms, the more kind of excited I get, the more I realize, okay, I can see how this is going to be something I want to do in the future. It makes trading, for me anyway, much easier. And maybe just to expand a bit more on that, and AI agents in particular, we do see that more people want to give their agents access to Nansen data. More people want to trade with agents on chain, and this is also something that we are working towards, this kind of autonomous state of trading. For now, we actually have released a CLI that you can actually give to your agent with literally just one prompt. Your agent can get access to the Nansen CLI. So let's say if you're running an OpenClaw agent, you can give it access to the Nansen CLI. and give it a Nansen API key, of course, and it will be able to do a whole number of different things. It'll be able to have basically eyes on chain. It'll be able to see what is happening on chain. You no longer have to kind of do the work and crawl through all the on-chain data yourself. You can get your agent to do it. And on top of that, soon enough, you will be able to trade through the Nansen CLI, which is also extremely exciting. And we have prediction markets data coming, perps data coming. So there's a lot of exciting things we're doing there with agents at Nansen. So I'm very glad here to give you a quick introduction to Nansen and hopefully get you excited for what's to come.
Yeah, already sounds super exciting. And
before we let you go further, James, one thing that I think a lot of potential users might be curious about, you mentioned that using agentic trading was a bit scary for you at the start,
Should you mute yourself?
Oh, he might have dropped off. Maybe I can just expand on his point.
Yeah, sorry, back. Yeah, so I think a lot of what a lot of potential users are probably concerned would be interested to know is what actually sort of reassured you over time, right? Because I think with agentic trading, there still are some concerns that users may have, or there've been incidents with alternatives like bot trading and all that, where maybe the assets in the wallet get compromised, or maybe access control is compromised. So how does Nansen address this, or maybe what personally sort of reassured you over time, as you got more familiar with the platform? I think a lot of potential users would be very interested to hear about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. For the Nansen agent, I think one of the main things that we've done is actually introduce MFA. So if you want the agent to trade, you are going to need to add multi-factor authentication, and at the start of a session you might have to authenticate yourself. So that's one way that you can reduce a lot of risk. On top of that, we're using embedded wallets powered by Privy, and Privy, this is their bread and butter. Embedded wallets and the security around this is their bread and butter. So we're using kind of the best security in the game, the best security in the market, to power these Nansen wallets. They're two things that definitely gave me comfort. Another as well is definitely speaking to our engineers, and as they walk us through how it's set up and how the agent actually will need you to basically approve a trade right now. So it's not like running in the background by itself yet. Hopefully someday we'll all get to that stage, but it's you got to walk before you start running. But right now, there is an approval process for a trade. So the agent isn't going to all of a sudden buy a crazy amount of tokens without you knowing. So they're just a number of different things that keep me feeling more comfortable. But yeah, I do on the side have one or two autonomous agents running. This is completely separate to Nansen. And so far, I've kind of given up on some of my own security. Again, this is separate to the Nansen agent. This is some experimental agentic trading that I'm trying, completely separate to Nansen, but actually using Nansen data. But yeah, I've kind of given up on the security aspect for the usability aspect for now, just in my own experimental personal projects. I'm not quite an engineer myself, but I trust in the Nansen engineers that when we do bring out autonomous agents, they will be safe and they will be secure. We have top of the class engineers at Nansen, so I have a lot of faith in them.
Yeah, hopefully awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think the good thing is that a lot of potential future users of Nansen are also not engineers. So I think they'll be really happy to hear about your experience as well, but reassured them.
We take that very seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So just a quick reminder as well for the lucky winner of the $200 Nansen subscription. At least you have a clear idea about what you'll be potentially getting to enjoy. Yeah, so remember to retweet, and we'll be announcing the winner thereafter the stream in a separate tweet.
Yeah. So following up on this, I have a simple question. So you already, James, you mentioned the CLI, and also I know Nansen already have a very strong analytics database. So what the Nansen Pro is offering to the user? So what for example, the lucky guy can get from this subscription? What kind of data and what kind of service or API it provides?
Yeah, very good, very good. So what you can get from the subscription, and actually it's funny that Solana's here, because as of right now, by the way, Solana data is free on Nansen. So we have a lot of labels and proprietary data on Nansen that is only available through the Pro subscription. But if you're a Solana only trader or on-chain user, you can actually use Nansen for free on Solana. So that's one thing I should point out before I go into the Pro sub exactly. But if you do have a Pro sub, then across all chains, that includes Solana, but then Ethereum, Hyperliquid, Base, and many other different chains, you have a whole range of different analytics and labels. And those labels are really the source of alpha on Nansen, because we've smart money labels, we label our whales, we label public figures such as KOLs and fund managers and things like this. So you'll be able to have a comprehensive system that can track all these amazing different addresses, see when a large fund is buying a token or accumulating, and then some other things is like the agent I talked to you about. The agent requires a Pro sub. So these are kind of some of our flagship features. And another thing on the trading side, if you're a free user, you will be charged 0.25% fees, which is already quite competitive. But if you're a Pro sub subscriber on Nansen, you will get 0.1% in trading fees. So that's just another bonus for particularly for high volume traders out there. So yeah, there's some of the exciting things that you can see with Nansen on the Pro sub.
Yeah, I think answers my question perfectly. So yeah, guys, don't miss out this chance. Just retweet the live link, and you might be the lucky one. So yeah, can we jump? Maybe we can jump to our next questions. So right now you mentioned like the agentic layer of the Nansen recently building. So just want to ask, does it change the way Nansen team works with the data? And also, what is the real secret sauce keeps Nansen ahead, makes the data more accurate or trusted by the users?
Yeah, I think going into the secret sauce is a great place to start, because Nansen tracks 500 million addresses on chain, and that's obviously quite a lot of addresses to track. For a normal human such as myself, I'm not able to do this. I need a system set up for me to do this, and Nansen is that system. So there's 500 million addresses being tracked and labeled, and those labels will include some of the stuff I mentioned before. And then out of those 500 million, we whittle down to about 5,000 smart addresses. So we're labeling the top of the top addresses as smart, and you can find these kind of we give you very easy to use features that will allow you to filter through these labels, kind of see where the volume is in these kind of labels. For example, what are smart money trading on Hyperliquid? That might be a question that you want to answer. Maybe there's a trading setup there for you. What are whales trading on Hyperliquid? What are KOLs trading on Hyperliquid? These are all the kind of questions that you might be able to answer with the Nansen labels. And I guess if you think of a world where you have all this data without the labels, you're just kind of looking at volume, just pure volume, which can be beneficial. However, it's not the same when you can break it down into the subcategories and trader types and things like this. So I think the secret sauce is definitely the labels, and the amount of labels you get from Nansen are not going to be something that you can really do alone, basically. Yeah. So that's where I believe the secret sauce is.
Thanks so much. Yeah, super insightful. Before we move on to the next question, I'd love to bring CJ in for a moment, because Sayfel recently joined the Nansen Point Season 3, right? And some eligible Nansen users can claim one free Sayfel X1 hardware wallet. So yeah, CJ, from Sayfel perspective, what's your view on this collaboration, and how do you think it will benefit our community?
Yeah, I think it boils back down to one meaningful point
Mhm.
that I mentioned earlier in the AMA today, basically that I know token airdrops, right, are like the most prevalent form of incentives or like growth
Mm.
strategies that's still implemented in our industry today with varying levels of success, more importantly. Um, but we do genuinely believe we are trying to build what we believe to be the wallet drop meta as opposed to a token airdrop meta where um, we see as a really viable and effective user retention and growth strategy because people who are actually interested or sort of attracted by hardware wallets they number one are a lot more crypto native because they actually understand what it does. Number two, they value security a lot more, and the enhanced security that hardware wallet provide, and because of that, they are less likely to be mercenary farmers, and we believe that to be a lot more synergistic and beneficial, to other crypto builders and projects in the space. Yeah, so I think it's really exciting to be collaborating with Nansen on this because I do think that people who enjoy Nansen services are either very pro traders, very veteran traders, very heavy traders, or just people who really need or rely on the on-chain data a lot more. And I think this really ties into the kind of people that also would appreciate and enjoy hardware wallets. Yeah, so really exciting to see this collaboration come forth, and hopefully also paves the way, for other partnerships moving forward as well.
Mhm. Yeah, thanks, CJ. Yeah, now back to James. How has the response been for so far from the for this SafePal Nesson collaboration? And we really want to know how Nesson community's feedback, and also more broadly, do you think this collaboration helps your community to grow and or as an entry point to access crypto services?
Yeah, as I said, I spend a lot of time interacting with Nansen users, and
Mhm.
this has easily been one of the most popular and well received rewards that we've done. People love hardware wallets. People, at the end of the day, everyone wants to be more secure in crypto, and everyone I've spoken to that has redeemed this has said this has been one of their favorite rewards. And I
Mhm.
think it's because it was easy to redeem. As well, it's free at the end of the day. It's a free hardware wallet. If you're a Nansen sub and you haven't checked this out, I really think you should. And it's open to the green, ice, north, and star tier. So that's all four of our Nansen points tiers. So once you hit that green tier, you will be eligible to claim one of these wallets. So yeah, on our side, we're getting lots of good feedback, and this has gone down extremely well with our user base. So I think you guys are doing a great job. I also give great props to your team. Anytime I have interacted with you guys, you've responded very fast, and it's just been a pleasure to work with you guys. So yeah, I'm glad we could have this session here today, and I'm glad that we have come together for this points partnership.
Thanks so much. So glad to hear that. So happy to hear this. I think that will be the last question for today. There's still a few slides. I think this slide about Nansen points. Do you want to quickly go through it before we wraps up?
Yeah, so I'll just give a very quick rundown. Basically, Nansen has 4 points here. So we have green, ice, north, and star. Green is 1,000 NXP, ice is 10,000, north is 50,000, and star is 250,000 NXP. Basically, you can earn NXP for a number of different activities on Nansen. There are some onboarding activities. There are points for your subscriptions, for your paid subscriptions. There are points for referring people. There are points for staking with Nansen. For those of you that don't know, as I mentioned earlier, we're a fully comprehensive on-chain platform. You can earn yield on Nansen. You can stake with Nansen. And then the final one is also there are points for trading activities. So the points system has also been quite popular, especially when we get rewards such as a SafePal hard wallet in. So yeah, if you're a Nansen user and you haven't activated your points yet, you really need to go and do this. And as well, then, if you're a SafePal user and you're looking for a place to go from, seamless researching and surfacing the signal through blockchain data, and you want to go into trading execution, you can do all of this on Nansen. So it could be good to take a look.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I already saw the last slide. It's so lovely. Thank you so much, James. Thanks.
No problem.
And also thanks for joining us today, and really appreciate the insight and looking forward to more collaboration with Nansen ahead. Yeah. Why, CJ, you mute yourself? Okay, I think that's the end of the session. So have a good one, James. Thanks.
Thank you very much, guys.
In the future.
All the best.
Thanks for joining us, James. Thanks everyone for tuning
No
in.
problem at all. Thank you very much for having me. See you
Bye.
guys.
Okay, yeah, that's for today's AMA. Thanks, CJ, for staying with us until the end. Do you have any final message to the audience?
Yeah, I think I left out mentioning at the start of the AMA, and I'll probably mention it for the next one. But yeah, I while I'm more of a lurker on Twitter, monitoring and handling PR and branding for a company. Yeah, this probably marks the start of me transitioning to be also more public facing. So for anyone who has any feedback or insights, feel free to DM me on Twitter. For our entire team, we're always looking for improvements. So we do take our user feedback seriously, and also excited and look forward to interacting with everyone for future and subsequent AMAs. Yeah, and of course, props to Ash as well for
You mute yourself again, CJ. Anyway, I think the final CTA CJ is giving is just follow him on X.
Oh no, that's not what I meant.
No?
I meant share. That wasn't what I was saying. I was saying if for users who have any feedback to share with us, our product team and build our team members do take user feedback seriously. So feel free to send me a DM as well if you have anything that you want us to work on, improve on, and I think this also probably marks the transition for me to be a lot more public facing as well, as opposed to being more of analytics and PR and branding guy for SafePal. So excited and look forward to interacting with everyone in future and subsequent AMAs as well. Yeah, and of course, props to Ash for steering the AMA ship for us all this time also. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I don't know where I got muted off. Yeah, it's an issue with my mic, so I'll correct it for the subsequent AMAs as well.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. And also a big thanks to all of our SafePal fam for tuning in. And thanks our guests for joining us today. Just don't forget to retweet the link, live link or the recording link for a chance to win 3 months of Nansen Pro subscription. James already shared what is included. It's super attractive.
I'm a little envious of that person already. When James was sharing about the Nansen benefits, I was already.
You can retweet it. You can retweet it. So, the winner will be selected.
Obviously, they're not going to
be.
I even if I was lucky enough to be chosen, there's no way I would take that over someone else. They would deserve that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yes,
That's
do retweet the
super
live stream
professional.
I'm going to be really envious or jealous of the lucky winner. Yeah, and hope the person enjoys the benefits and uses it to its fullest.
Okay. Yeah, so just don't miss out this chance that CJ sacrificed. So yeah, if you know any great crypto projects you want us to talk to or collaborate with, just drop them in comments. And don't forget to download SafePal, follow us, especially follow CJ if you haven't yet, and stay tuned for the more updates coming. And we'll be back next month with more fun. Stay safe, everyone. Bye. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Mute yourself again. Okay, bye.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Bye.